Welcome to Penventon Hotel. My name's John Martin. I'm here with Dicky Evans, the Pirates president and main benefactor. Dicky, welcome. How are you feeling?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
If we take you back to the history of the Cornish Pirates, back in 1995, you were initially, I believe, Bedford Rugby Club asked you to financially help them out. Is that right?
Bedford were travelling in Kenya on tour, and the president then said, would I sponsor Bedford Rugby Club? I said, the only people I'd sponsor would be the Pirates. So I got hold of Paul Greaves, my old pal, from many years ago. He was the coach of the Pirates then, and he said, what can I help you with? Bedford suggested a bus, and he said, yeah. So I gave them a little coach for the mini juniors, which is still there, I think. So then later on in life, I got a call. I was travelling to Naivasha to one of the farms one day, and he had a big blockwork mobile phone. Got this call from David James, I think it was. He said, look, we've got a problem here, boy. Need somebody to be the president of the Pirates next year. So would I do it? And I said, look, I live 4,000 miles away, so it's a bit of a long way to come. So I came over, cut long story short, I came over, they made me president, and we had the 1995 50th Jubilee year in St John's Hall with the Wasps guests, who I played against in Kenya. The Wasps guests was Peter Yarrington was the chairman of the club, etc. So I spoke against him, and Bill Bishop was there. And that's how it started, basically, and I then got involved. Later on in life, I was asked to provide a proper coach, so I got Bobby Tonkin, bless him. So the first year we spent about £30,000 paying players and Bobby to coach the Pirates who came up through the leagues, and that was the story of the Pirates.
£30,000 then, that's one salary for a player nowadays, Dicky, isn't it?
Got to be a good player in our league, £30,000, yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
Budgets have gone up and up, basically, yeah.
Does it surprise you how much it costs to run a rugby club?
Not really, no. I mean, you know, you look at football and people like Rooney earning £200,000 a week. People like Jack now deserve to earn that sort of money, in my opinion. But obviously at our level, it's difficult because we don't have the money that the Premier Leagues have. We got a good deal at the Pirates. We've got a budget of about £1 million this year, £1.2 million this year. The other day we had a meeting with Paves and Gavin about the future, because obviously we're going to go into the stadium pretty soon. Looking at a budget of £2 million in 3 years' time, so we've got to raise that money through sponsors, etc.
So over the 23 years that you've been with the Pirates, what are the highs? There have been many highs, haven't there?
Oh, the cup game when Jim Mackay was the cup game at when we beat Munster at Camborne in the cup, and Wardy came out the scrum at the back came out of a ruck right in our line with the ball. Unbelievable. I don't know who he bit in that one. He came out of that one. Brilliant win. The other one was the EDF Cup at Twickenham when we beat Exeter. Philly Massey scored the winning try, and Exeter were a very good side then, and we beat them. That was a great day. And the other one was, I think what the other one was.
A couple of championship finals.
Oh yeah.
2011, 2012.
2011 was a big one for us because we could have beaten Worcester, and we had a great side. And just the week before, I think it was the week before the vote, wasn't it, on the stadium? Was that year or the following? I can't remember which.
Roughly then, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So the vote went against us, and I put a little black ring around the Pirates website and on the website, just with the last person to leave call, turn out the lights.
Turn out the lights, yeah, exactly. What would have happened if the Pirates had won the championship final either of those 2 years? You couldn't have taken your place in the Premiership with the ground at the Menai.
No, we'd have had to negotiate with the team coming down, I think.
Oh, you would have, right.
Yeah, negotiate a bit of money for the team coming down, because there's a big parachute payment for the team coming down, so we got some of that, I would have thought.
Yeah. So when you mentioned the parachute payment there, that's something that happens now, that the team coming down from the Premiership gets an awful lot more money than the rest of the Championship.
Yeah,
in your opinion, is that right?
Basically, the Premiership is 13 clubs, and the side that's in our division is always the 13th club. Leeds had to sell their shares. They sold their shares to Exeter, I believe. So the London Irish have got P shares, etc. So it's a bit of an equal roulette table to play on. So 13 teams get good, big money, and we don't. The side that comes down gets a parachute payment. The problem we got, of course, is if we could win the league this year, we perhaps might do quite well. I'm not saying we will win the league. If we win the league this year, we can't go up. We have to negotiate with somebody not to come down, basically.
Yeah. Well, moving away from the Menai is the answer to that, and moving to a different club. Have you had many sleepless nights about moving away from the Menai?
No, not at all. We've always thought that to get anywhere in the Premiership, we have to be in the centre of Cornwall. I've been at this since 2006, 2007 with Peter Marks, and I'm going to write a book on this in due course. I've got a lot of correspondence on this with people like Lavery and co back in 2010 and 11. Rob Saltmarsh has been there since the beginning. Saw him yesterday. We're still trying to break through the glass ceiling, get in the ground, sort it out. So where we're at is no sleepless nights. Just basically, we've got to get there. We have to get into a stadium before we can think about anything. Once we get into the stadium, we can start to look at the future, I think. Because once you've got a stadium, this stadium is going to be in a very high, densely populated area. I think the crowds have got up to about 4,000 or 5,000 without any trouble at all, especially if we're near the top of our league. A lot of good sponsors. We've got new management at the back of the Pirates now, supporting the Pirates. People like Robin James, Jack Richards, etc. Becky's there again, financial controller. Pirates is in good shape at the moment. It's got two great coaches, man and boy, Paves and Gavin, yeah. So they're there as long as I'm there, I think.
So you think the future for the Pirates is quite secure at the moment?
Absolutely, I do. We got this big glass ceiling to break through next week, I hope. Got a meeting on Monday morning with the guys in the council, John Betty and Nigel Blackler. Both of them have been superb on this. So we've got to break through. We've got to get the ownership of the stadium land, and then we're laughing, I think.
There was recently site investigation at the stadium, wasn't there? How did that go?
Yeah, the groundworks investigation. They've proved what we thought, good shale there. So we haven't got expensive foundations, so that's a good thing. Do slabs, simple concrete slabs. Might have to do a few bores down to get some piling in there. But basically, the stadium at the moment is looking like a decent deal. We're looking to get the government money in shortly, hopefully confirmed in November, looking good. Council have come to the party, etc. So we're looking good at the moment. Business plans in place.
There's a lot of money required for the stadium and for the team, presumably. What's the long-term sustainability of it?
Basically, the team's going to cost us £2 million when we get into the stadium. We'll have a debt-free stadium worth about 14 or 15 million pounds. We'll have shares available for people to buy, do some crowdfunding, etc. I think crowds should sort us out. I mean, I'm in for life, basically. I'm in there till basically I keel over. Hopefully we get the Premiership before I keel over.
But on that subject then, what happens then though, Dicky? You're not immortal, are you?
No, but the point is then, by then we'll have proper shareholders. There's good people in Cornwall with some money. Yeah. Proper shareholding.
And also, do you think the rugby union should put more money into Championship clubs?
Well, obviously I do. We get £650,000. That's what we get. Yesterday, the CVC, this paper's full of yesterday's £275 million going in to buy 50% of Premiership clubs. I mean, it's iniquitous, really. Yeah. But I mean, some of the Premiership clubs need it. People like Exeter, perhaps not so much. People like Bruce Craig don't want to go that route. But Exeter do a good job. I think once we get going, we can be a very, very valuable club.
The Pirates are working hard, not just for the Cornish Pirates, it's for the whole of Cornwall, because they're Jack Richards and Sam Teasdale doing lots of work with other clubs and youth groups around Cornwall. So it's not just Cornish Pirates coming from Penzance. There's a lot of work at the club for the whole of Cornwall.
We work very hard, John, on working with Redruth and people. I sponsor Redruth myself. Hemingway's Hotel sponsors Redruth. We got the outreach going now with Jack. We got a new trust being set up. I'm very keen on disabled kids and disabled mentally handicapped people, helping them, etc. So the outreach is going to be very big for us.
And the Pirates have lots of different sponsors as well, and new sponsors coming on board. You always welcome those.
Okay, well, yeah, absolutely. Robin James is doing a great job. He's an old pal of mine, Robin, old fishing mate, former chief executive of Greco, Middle East and Africa, and he's a good lad. He knows how to get money out of people. So he's already working hard on sponsorship. He's already doing a great job there. Jack Richards, of course, you got Becky in the background looking after finances. We're going to do a deal probably with Lee on the food and everything for the stadium. Lee of Roseworthy Farms is doing a great job. So we're planning for the future. We had a meeting this week with Paves and Gavin on squads. So we had 3-year contracts coming out for all the stars in the team, and there'll be no let-out clauses, etc. So we won't be selling anybody anymore.
Excellent.
So no Wardies leaving us. No.
But you hope that these players would then play for the Pirates in the Premiership. They don't need to move away.
No, we're bringing them on to play in the Premiership. I think that's the way we're going to do it. We got some Premiership quality players there. Note the number of agents. We're a supermarket basically, John. With every home game, we get agents from all over England down there watching us. Last weekend there were a few. See the players speaking to them in the back of the grandstand after the game, etc.
They have stolen Pirates players in the past, though.
We lost a huge team. We lost Tim Cowley, Wardy, Cookie, etc., etc. But we couldn't stand in people's way. But that was before we had the stadium. Now it's going to change.
Exactly. Now you're based in Kenya. Does flying to and fro Kenya ever get you down? And have you ever thought, I'm going to come back to Cornwall to live?
Basically, I don't mind travelling at all. I travel a lot around the world, but I can't see myself. I'm domiciled in Kenya. I got my businesses in Kenya. Just finished a new hotel at Hemingway's at the coast. I've been over for this month now. A bit of medical treatment, plenty of work on the Pirates. We're going to see 3 games, I hope, this month, and then we've got back in November with Dallas Fisher, of course, who's the guy at the Chiefs, Waikato Chiefs, is helping us with advice, etc. on the stadium. He's coming with me to the All Blacks game in November.
All right, yeah.
So we're going to watch South Africa and the All Blacks against England with him. Hopefully England can beat them. Doubt it though at the moment, but
They'll take some beating, won't they?
absolutely, yeah, good side. But basically we've got a good relationship with them. And you look at Bristol Rugby Club, the way they've approached it. They've got a lot of good local lads. But they've employed a couple of really good stars like Pila Tower and the number 6 last Friday night, Latua.
Yeah,
awesome
yeah.
rugby players, awesome.
Yeah.
Beat Bath on his own, did Latua.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. So that's the way we're going to go. I think we're going to, a bit like Exeter have done. They got all the local boys, Jack Nowell and co, Luke Cowan, Dicky, etc. But then they bring in a couple of Australians. We'll probably do the same with the New Zealanders. I think using Dallas Fisher as a feeder.
Who have you got in mind then?
Early days. Early days. I mean, but you got some great rugby players. I mean, the spine of the team is people like. You got that guy who went to Montpellier, Cruden. That's the spine of the team. Some great stars.
Yeah.
I mean, Wasps are going to be a team to watch this season with Sopawanga.
Yeah.
It's basically I watch all the Super 15 rugby in Kenya in the morning, Saturday mornings, Friday mornings. Sopawanga is a brilliant rugby player. He's going to take this division apart.
Yeah.
As is Latua, the number 6 at Bristol last Friday night.
Yeah.
Won that game on his own, I thought.
Yes, there are some stars in the Premiership.
Absolutely.
So your aim is that there'll be a couple of stars, but then a lot of homegrown players
Absolutely,
as well.
yeah. Well, I mean, Exeter are after a homegrown team, and so are we. That's why Paves and Gavin, they interview everybody. We got some good youngsters there. I mean, don't be invidious to mention names, but we got some good youngsters there. We're offering them all 3-year contracts at the moment.
And 3 years is unusual, isn't it?
Absolutely, for us. Normally they have a get-out clause. No get-out clause now. They're in for life.
Right.
So we've upped the budget to £2 million in 3 years' time.
Right. So when the Pirates eventually get the stadium for Cornwall, and hopefully in the long term get to the Premiership, is that job done, ambition achieved to you?
If I'm alive when we get to Premiership, yes. I think that's where I'm going to be. But by then we'll have a number of shareholders, and these clubs are very valuable. I mean, you see that CVC are going to put £275 million in. That's £17 million for 50% of a rugby club. I've spent about £14 million on the Pirates in the last 25 years. So I'm not looking to recoup any money. I just want to make sure it lasts forever.
Yes, exactly. I think there'll be people out there who'll be delighted to hear that, Dicky.
Well, my son and daughters, they know what I'm up to. So basically, they're supporting me at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that rugby fans in the whole of Cornwall will be delighted with what you've done for the Pirates and what you intended to do in the future, Dicky. Long may it continue. Thank you very much.
Okay, John, lovely. Well, good luck.